morning. So I'm just sitting here thinking, and I realized that the reason why Jesus was gifted at his birth a caravan of offering by kings of the East is because he was a king's son. And at the birth of a king's son, other kings come to celebrate the birth of an heir with offerings. And these kings brought wagons. So the caravan is wagons of gold, frankincense of myrrh, all three highly valuable, all three very expensive. All three would have made Jesus a very rich man at his coming of age. And Mary and Joseph would have used this money in his education, in his development, and in raising of Jesus. And then it hit me. Mary and Joseph were fostering the Son of God. This is what makes God the best baby daddy, because not only it's the same as it's the exact same as when the Ark of the Covenant, David had to stop it at Obed-Edom's house because oh boy, it started, they weren't transporting it correctly, and it started to rock, and old boy put his hand on it and he died, and David didn't want to cost anybody else their lives trying to transport this thing, trying to transport the Ark of the Covenant back to Jerusalem with another death on his hands. I get it. They weren't doing it the right way. They were doing it their way, and that cost a life. And Dave was like, okay, let's pause for the cause. And let's do this thing right. But while the Ark of the Covenant was at Obed-Edom's house, he prospered in a way that no one else around him was prospering. Because he was caring for the Ark of the Covenant. He was fostering at his house. And because of that, Obed-Edom's land prospered. His land and his house prospered more than everyone else around him. And he was just a lowly farmer. It's the exact same with Mary and Joseph. They were fostering the Son of God. And God provided not only for the caring and the nurturing and the raising of his son by Mary and Joseph, he also took care of their home. In a way that was far greater, because really, if these people were poor, who at their wedding, when they run out of anything, are going to run to people to just ask random folks for money? Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to run to random people for money to pay for more wine because the wedding feast hasn't ended yet. Nobody does that. Nobody goes to the random caterer and say, hey, we've run out of wine. Can you take out of your pocket to buy more wine for the wedding? Nobody's going to do that. The only time they really, and they don't want to do it, is if the family, honestly. But they're still not going to do that. Yo, you're going to look for the richest people at the wedding that are really, really close and say, hey, we've run out of wine. Would it be okay if we borrow a little something to like send off, get more wine and bring it back? I'm good for it. I'll give it back. Something like that. First they went to Mary. And Mary was like, ask Jesus, this is money. And then Jesus was like, Mama, why you do that? Because he did. He was like, Mama, why you do that? And she said, okay, whatever he tells you to do, you do. So they did what he told them to do. And there was more wine. And Jesus didn't even have to spend any of the money at all. He was like, my time hasn't yet come, Mom. It's not time for me to start turning water into wine and healing people and doing great works of the Holy Spirit. It's not my time yet to do that. That story is not to tell us that Jesus didn't want to spend money. That story was actually an indication, if we look close enough, that Jesus actually had it to buy wine for an entire wedding feast. And not because he was just the Son of God, but because God had already made the provision for him to be a very rich, wealthy man in his adulthood.